Hi everyone, I'm Sunks, one of the co-founders of Recall. I'm really excited to be doing our second live customer interview. And today I have Guilhem.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
I get it right? I got it right.
yeah, yeah,
We
good.
have Guilhem. He is an engineering student from France. Today we're just going to go through a bit of his background, a bit of his workflow, some of his feature requests, and also discuss a little bit about how we're planning on evolving Recall. So that's enough about me. Over to you, Guilhem.
Yeah, good. Well, thanks a lot to have me here. So my name is Guillaume. I'm as Sang said, I'm a student in engineering in France, general engineering. I'm 20 years old. I am in an apprenticeship at Thales Space, a very big satellite company. It's really cool. And currently, I'm also an intern in Spain in a tech company. It's kind of cool, and yeah, about recall. But like this year, in France, I discovered the Rolls-Royce Eloquence contest. It's a contest between a lot of engineering school, especially in Toulouse, where I am studying. The target is to just do a good presentation in front of a very high qualified person. I participate in it with a friend, but the only problem is that I I had 2 weeks to prepare all my speech. Oh yeah, it was a really tight timing, and I had to find something really cool. So I choose my subject, space debris handling and management. I tried to do some research, but it was really hard to find good information without wasting my time because like there is some cool YouTube video, but they are like 2 or 3 hours long, and I don't had this time sadly. So at first I tried to code my own solution.
I love that. I love that that was like, okay, I have a problem. Let me just build a let me instead of watching a 2 hour video, I'll build something to help me watch it more efficiently, like a classic engineer.
Yeah, exactly. I tried to code a solution to take the YouTube video and to do a transcript, but it was better than most free tools, but still not enough for me. I found a Reddit post about some AI tools who can do basically what I needed. And I was like, yeah, why not? Let's try this one. And it was Recall, and it was really good. I could do all my research really quickly, very efficiently, to do the full speech at the end, and just to give sadly the conclusion, I finished fourth instead of in the top three. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
still a
that's
really
still
good experience.
great.
Yeah,
That's amazing. What's an amazing result? So yeah, you should be proud of that.
yeah. But yeah, it was really cool, and I still continue to use Recall for other stuff.
Okay, I mean, I obviously this is live, so I didn't know your story. That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear that recall could be helpful for you when, you were under crunch time.
Mhm.
Would you be comfortable sharing your screen and maybe walking us through how you use recall today, any of your workflows, and we can sort of just take it from there?
Yeah, of course, of course. Just let me share the screen. Okay, so there is a lot of cards. You can ignore them for now, but basically, my workflow, I have explained it in details on the Discord server. So if you haven't joined it, please join it. But yeah, my workflow is like I found something that I want information. So, for example, at this time, it was about satellite space debris handling. I have a personal preference for GitHub Copilot now, but
Okay.
I ask him like, hello, can you create me on Google about uh, I has just a random question. For example, this. I take the question, I put it on Perplexity, I try to look on Google also on YouTube, and I take directly, I don't waste any time. I just look directly at the sources. I take the sources that are interesting to me. So, for example, this one about the World Economic Forum, I remember it was really good. I create a new card, I paste it, and et voilà, as we say in France, it's all good.
Here we go. So now you've entered it in recall. What's next? What's your typical sort of workflow inside recall?
Well, inside Recall, my workflow is like I skip totally the this part on the left. Then, yeah, I look at the notebook, I read what it say. When there is some concept linked to other article, I look at all the connections that I have. I try to see a map of what I'm seeking as content. So I'm just gonna show, like for example, this the connection part of Recall. I love it absolutely. There is a lot of interesting things, such as on this article, there was linked to some corporations, so World Economic Forum, of course, because they are the author, but Airbus, Astroscale. There was a lot of information that I could have missed if it was just me reading the article. And it's even more useful when I go to the graph view, specifically of this card, and that I try to look at other information. So, for example, I was looking at space debris. I look at the space debris topic and I see that I have other information linked about it. So, for example, this one, who have a lot of information, and I can go really deep inside the rabbit hole to find the good information that I need to use it correctly.
That's amazing. I'm so glad you actually find the connections helpful. I personally love them. And when I have time, I'm so delighted when I'm like, oh, I didn't realize this. Or like, oh, that's so cool that it's related. But I also know it's not for everyone. And also at the same time, there's honestly a lot more work that we need to do on our graph. So ideally, we'll revamp the visual elements so it's a bit more intuitive, a bit easier to navigate. And maybe even we'll have a way that you can summarize that graph. So without you needing to spend time to click, expand, explore, you could like
Yeah.
very quickly know,
Mhm.
space debris is related to these five other topics, and maybe these other related concepts came up in these articles. And I wonder, do you ever use the chat or the quiz feature with your studying? Is that something that comes up or not really? It's more for research.
For the chat, I have used it, yes, a lot currently in my internship in Spain. Well, there is some websites who are in Portuguese or in Spanish, and sometimes I have difficulties to understand exactly what they are saying. So I put the website on Recall and I ask like, what do they say or anything so that I can understand and then be better when I talk to the client, for example. But yeah.
Okay, okay, awesome. And if you take us back to your homepage, is mainly the topics that you're looking at research topics? Are there any fun personal topics that you use, or primarily Recall is about saving time when researching?
Well, at first I was really into just saving time, so being efficient and everything, very engineering way to think.
Yes,
But
yes.
I start to be more onto some fancy side, like for example, there is science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
This YouTube channel, Primer, really great, but there is another YouTube channel that I love, which is Al 236. It's a French YouTube channel.
Okay.
Uh, and he made very long and very interesting video, but like I have difficulties to find all the interesting links. So for example, let's look at this one. It's a very long YouTube video. I won't do all of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it's really related to some deep and artistic information. Like you can see Clive Barker, you can see Akira. There is really deep subject, and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I love Recall because it's able to make me improve also this side, the more cultural side, I'd say. So, for example,
Okay.
this is it's really interesting. I love this feature. I love Recall for this.
And I wondered, have you ever used Obsidian or any other graph style note-taking apps, or is Recall the first?
Well, I've tried Obsidian and I absolutely hated it because
Oh.
uh, it's just I hated it because I wasn't competent enough in
Mm-hmm,
how this work, and
mm-hmm.
I wasn't taking my time to understand to try to make this work.
Okay, I was just curious. I know like a lot of people, once they get the hang of Obsidian, it's very addictive and they can only sort of take their notes in there. And I was curious because we're about to launch, hopefully this week actually, a way to bulk import your markdown notes. So I guess just a couple other questions. I noticed that you added your content by clicking create new and pasting in your link. Do you ever use
Uh,
the browser extension or do you use the
yeah,
Recall mobile app?
I have both the Recall mobile app and the extension. For the person who don't know, it's really, really, really useful, very good. Like I click on the extension and it basically do the same, but even quicker, I think. Recall on my phone, I don't use it to add data, add information. I use it to read my information
Okay.
mostly. But yeah.
Okay, awesome. I guess like a couple final questions. Any wish lists or feature requests or particular areas you would love Recall to expand into?
Well, I'd say it would be to be able to import like a batch of content instead of just taking one PDF file to after the other because it takes a long time. Or
Hmm.
just when I import a bunch of cards that they all get a good notebook at the end, even if it takes time, I don't care. I put
Yes,
it. I can take all of them and put them into Recall, but sadly, for example, this one where
yes,
there is everything, but there is no notebook, and I'm very lazy. I don't want to go to each one, create a
and create.
notebook or add that. Yeah, or maybe another one would be to be able to directly import video instead of putting them into YouTube, then into Recall, but it would take a lot of space. So I understand why it's not the case.
So just because I'm following, the first one is like bulk document upload, so like bulk PDF upload, and then the second,
Mhm.
let's go back to that other card, the
Yes,
one
this
that
one.
didn't have, yeah. So you're aware, like if you click chat, if you go to the chat tab, and you click
Oh,
concise summary, yeah. Well, now you
or
know.
detail, yeah.
Yes, or
I feel
detail.
dumb.
No,
I
don't
feel a
feel dumb.
bit dumb.
No, it's a bad design. It's a bad
Mhm.
design. And now you click add to notebook. Honestly, our UI and UX really needs a
Okay.
lot of work, and now it's in there. So I'm glad you now you know. So with the browser extension, it's the default action. In
Hmm.
here, it should also be your default action, which you can pick in your settings. It can be detailed, concise, or reader only. But when you bulk import, so if you import all of your bookmarks, it
Yeah.
won't automatically create the summary. You have to
Mhm.
do this. Go to chat,
Okay. Okay.
click it, add it to notebook. It's pretty painful. Honestly, we did
It's
it
good to
because of.
know.
Yes, I'm sorry. It's not
No
intuitive. It is
worries.
not you. It is really not you. But the reason we do that is the AI costs, right? So we're
Yeah.
trying to figure
Mhm.
out how to make sure it's sustainable.
Yeah, just see the list of there is a lot of content. I feel a bit shameful when I add a lot of content because I know the costs are very,
Don't.
very
No,
expensive
no, no, no,
quickly.
no. You don't feel shameful. Like this is why we built Recall. Like the fact that you're using it and adding so much content is amazing. So do not hold back. For anyone who's watching, we do set a $50 AI limit, which means if a user reaches the $50 cost limit, they'll sort of get a little notification saying that they got to reset it. And you just pop me an email,
Yeah,
you email.
I hated it.
You have emailed me already. I remember.
Okay.
But for anyone watching, it's no don't hold back. Just email us at support@getrecall.ai and we will just re-enable it. The last question, your last feature request, would it be to upload MP4 videos instead of YouTube?
Uh, yeah, MP4, yeah. Because it would be so much more useful to just like, oh, I have to put all the content onto YouTube and then I can send it to Recall. But
We just discussed this one. We were gonna so after we do Markdown from Obsidian and Notion, which will launch this week, I think we'll just do a list of URLs. So that'll
Mhm.
be like if you can have a CSV of URLs, and then I think next we might go to the MP4. So fingers crossed it will come. So let's see. Any advice that you would give to new users who are just getting started with Recall and maybe looking for ways to get utility out of it or build a workflow around Recall?
I think at first, like, s- try to find what's your problem and what you want to solve. Like, for example, if it's school or anything, and try to create a workflow that can be replicated and do like over and over and over again at first. Then when you import cards, instead of like what I did to just import the card and just ignore it, I have begun to import the card and add my own tags. So for example, like this is my school, it was my school year, this is the topic. So it's more organized because like recall organization is really great, to be honest. It's really, really, really good. But my mind is saying no, we have to organize it in another way.
in a different way.
So
Yeah.
I think yeah, just try to find the correct organization for the tags, so it feel right for your brain. But yeah.
That's excellent. I feel the same. Like organization, it's so personal. And like sometimes it works. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's the perfect place I'd want to put it. And sometimes I'm like, no, 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 no. I've really got to spend some time to find a
Yeah.
system that works for me.
Do it before importing a bunch of cards because I am regretting like my hundred of cards who I have to manually tag because I forget.
Well,
But
then maybe
yeah, it,
maybe the feature request you'll really like is we want to do bulk tag management. So you can just like select a whole bunch of cards.
oh,
Yeah, and
this
then
would be
add a
great.
tag. Yes, I think we definitely need it because we need a balance. If we're doing bulk import, we need to have
Hmm.
bulk management. It
Yeah,
needs to
yeah.
balance. So
Hmm.
hopefully that will also come soon. I'm particularly excited about bulk management or smarter management of your cards. But awesome. Thank you so much for taking your time. I thought this was amazing. I had a lot of fun. I appreciate you also sharing, your workflow and taking time out of your studies to meet with me. So hopefully this will be helpful for future recall users. And yeah, really just appreciate it. So thank you.
Thanks a lot for your time and for this application also. I love Recall and I'm excited for all the future features.